I know, I know I'm a little early, but I just thought I'd open up a little bit, just a couple minutes early um, in case anybody was there and wanted to talk or have a little visit or ask some questions about meditation before we get started. So here I am. So if you're seeing me already, be sure to say hi so I know you're there. So we're going to start in just a couple minutes. We'll get started. We'll give a chance for, hi, Lori. What a beautiful surprise to see you pop up. We'll get started in just a couple minutes to give some other people an opportunity to come on. And if you have any questions about meditation, or if you've been having any struggles with meditation or anything like that, let's talk about that for a minute. So if there's any place where you maybe have some difficulty, I want to get our music ready. Let me know, because part of this is not just, my camera's super high. Part of this is not just sitting in silence and meditating, but part of this is also learning to meditate, learning how do you do that? How do you get past the hiccups of meditation that can sometimes be really, make it difficult and frustrating. So, so it's definitely about talking about meditation and talking about how do we do that, as well as the actual meditations. So if you're here, definitely shoot me a hi, say hi. But if you have questions, or if you have troubles, if places where you get stuck with meditation, I definitely want to open up an opportunity for us to talk about that as well. I find that a lot of people come to me and they express frustration over the mental focus, or they think that meditation is supposed to be just keeping your mind blank for 20 minutes, and that's not what it is at all. Or other people think that meditation is, if you're not meditating on something. Hi, Katja. What time is it where you are? It's got to be the middle of the night. That meditation, if you're not meditating on a scripture or a Bible passage, or if you're not meditating on, staring at a candle. Now, in full disclosure, I have a candle here, but that's mostly because when I turn the overhead lights off, it's really dark in here. So I have a candle. I have a lava lamp, which, how on the nose is that for a psychic to have a lava lamp? It's actually my husband's. And oh, bless your heart, we'll get you a good meditation before you go to sleep. And then we also have a beautiful stained glass butterfly lamp that was given to me by a very dear friend for birthday present. So meditating is not any of those things. And meditating, there are so many people who feel like you have to wipe the slate clean to have a decent meditation, and I don't personally believe in that. I have some of the most profound travel. I've had some of the most profound downloads of information. Some of you, probably not Lori, but maybe Katja, some of you know that I have a son in spirit, and he would be about 14, almost 15 right now, but he does not ever present himself to me at that age. He presents himself to me still as a little boy, somewhere between like 3 and 8 at any given moment. Although one of my girlfriends did come in my house pre-COVID and ask me, who's that boy? And she saw him at around 11. So I think he chooses what age he wants to show himself to me. But the knowledge of my connection with my son came to me through a download in a meditation. So we can get some of our most important information about ourselves, about situations that may be troubling us, or things we may be struggling with, through meditation. And I think a lot of people quit because I think this is like too high. Oh, see, Lori, now you can see I'm wearing my Mary Kate t-shirt today. I think a lot of people quit because they think that they have to meditate a certain way, or that they're doing it wrong if they can't quiet their mind. And I think that there's so much to be said for mental discipline. And that's a muscle like anything else. You know, if you are lifting weights, when you start doing that, you're not going to be able to lift as many weights as you would, you know, in a month if you were diligent with your practice. So if you're just joining us, we're talking about different struggles with meditation. So please take a second, say hi so we know you're there. And if you have a question about meditation or a struggle about meditation, please pop it in the comments and let's talk about it for a minute before we get into our actual meditation. But it's a muscle. Mental discipline is a muscle. And I'm watching all through this quarantine and this shutdown, I've been watching my dancer friends. I have so many friends that are just amazing dancers, all different kind of dancers, but a lot of ballerinas. And I watch them and they get up every day and they go through some kind of bar and class and routine, and they've been putting it on Instagram and on live, and it's been just a beautiful thing to see. But that's discipline that has been curated over years and years of, hi Sylvia. Oh, Katya, that's so wonderful. It's cultivated over years and years of practice, because discipline in anything is acquired over time. And so when you first start meditating, if you find you're like, it's okay, it's okay. And so this is part of why when I teach meditation, I tell you to put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, because then you can keep that left brain occupied with keeping it there, right? And it gives you the opportunity to give that left brain something to do. Some people, sometimes I'll hold a crystal in my right hand, because your left brain controls your right side and your right brain controls your left side. So I'll hold it in my right hand, which is also, for me personally, because I'm left-handed, then my energy, my right side is my receiving hand. So I put a crystal so that I can get a little bit of just left brain activity, just something to twiddle in my hand in case if I'm not sitting quietly. Normally I don't have a problem with it, because it's like I said, it's a practice. It's something you learn over time. But if you're old enough to remember old time typewriters, you know, literal like typewriter, click, 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 bing, and you have to go and you push the carriage back across. That's literally what I think about when I'm teaching meditation, is when a thought comes into your head, you just see it pop up on the screen and just push it to the side like you're resetting that typewriter. I also really like the visual of moving down a stream. I love being out in nature. Now, I don't camp, but I love being out in nature. I love walking around and hiking and just being in the energy of Mother Earth and the trees and just beautiful views, and just I love being part of that. And I love sitting next to a stream or creek where you can hear the sound of the water. You can literally hear it babbling by. And you can watch the leaves go by, you can watch the fish go by. It's one of the things I love about the park where I go to protect the manatees, is watching. There's quite a current there with 110 million gallons of water coming out of the aquifer a day. There's quite a current there, and it's just mesmerizing to watch the leaves go by or the debris. And I'm always baffled by the fish that are not swayed by this current that I would struggle against to swim, that without flippers, and these fish are like doo, 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 doo. So watching the thoughts go by, I have envisioned them like leaves in the water. So if a thought comes into my head, I just let it go by, and I'm not moving my head, but in my mind, I'm watching the thought go by, and it's going down the river. And I envision in my mind that catch pool, like at the bottom of a water slide, there's a big pool, but it's not very deep, and all the water kind of bushes up against the the edge of the pool when the slide, we come down the slide, but it's not going anywhere. It's contained. So I know that all my leaves and all my thoughts will be right there in that catch pool at the bottom. So I don't ever worry about, um, I got to remember it or I have to go catch it. I think so much stress that we put on ourselves, especially as women, is that need to remember rather than writing things down. And so, just as a little stress release tip, I have in my phone, I have two different post-it note apps that I use, and there's just tons of them in there. So that's one of the things I think that we can do to reduce our stress is just the second I think of something, I write it down in a post-it note app. And oftentimes I will dictate, because I also have a voice recorder in there. Oftentimes I'll dictate my newsletter or my blog post, at least the framework of it, because those things will come to me at like 4 in the morning. And I reach over and I grab my phone and I just press that record button. I'm like, blah, 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 and I go back to sleep. Because I know if I don't do it right then, I'm not going to go back to sleep because I'm trying to remember it, and then in the morning it's gone anyway. So I think one of the things that we do where we create stress for ourselves is trying to remember things. So as you're meditating, if you have a thought that comes into your head, just allow it. Just allow it. Don't beat yourself up for it. Don't berate yourself. Don't be like, oh, I can't do it. Because there is literally, if you're dead, then your brain will stop having thoughts. And even then, it might take a while. So please don't think there's something wrong or you're doing it wrong. If you are having thoughts while you're trying to meditate, allow. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to make sure that we understand. Hi, sweetheart, is allow. Whatever it is that you're seeing or feeling or hearing while you're meditating, just welcome it. And then allow it to move past you like a leaf in the stream, and just know it will be in that catch pool waiting for you at the end. Okay, so you don't have to hold on to it. You don't have to remember it. You can just let it go by. Okay? All right. So does that help? Is that, I don't know if you can do thumbs up or likes, or I don't know what you can do on I don't know. I know when I go live on my phone, I can see the little hearts and the likes and the whatnots, but I hope that that's helpful information to give you a more peaceful and meaningful meditation. And remembering again that it's about relaxing. It's not about judgment, ourself or others, and it's about allowing, and it's about the breath. And so tonight I wanted to do a little bit different meditation. And if you're just joining us, we're talking about places where we get stuck with meditation and problems we encounter that frustrate us and why we can't meditate or why it might be hard. So if there's a problem you've been struggling with, thank you, Katya. If there's a problem you've been struggling with, just throw it in the comments and we'll talk for a minute. But tonight I wanted to offer a different kind of meditation because it's been a rough week and 2 weeks really with everything going on in the country, and it's encouraging and it's empowering to see all these protests going on, and to see them in other countries that are taking up the mantle of Black Lives Matter, because we are certainly not the only country with Black people in it, and it's just marvelous to see so many other countries that have struggled with minority rights, to see them taking up the cause and to really see what might be possible to move our entire planet forward, not just our country. So I wanted to do a bit of a releasing meditation this evening to help you release some stress and some pain, like emotional pain that you may be feeling in your body. So we're going to do a little bit different. We've done a grounding meditation, a grounding and clearing for the last couple weeks. I wanted to do something different tonight. Okay, any other questions before we get started? I see so many people kind of popping in and popping out, but if you have any other questions before we get started, we'll go ahead and start our meditation. So thank you for being with us. Thank you for participating. And I invite you to just get comfortable. Sit if you can with 2 feet on the floor, but it's more important to be comfortable. And we're going to put your tongue on the roof of your mouth. And there's no wrong way, okay? And if you lose the focus, just come back. Just come back, look at me, put your tongue back on the roof of your mouth. And I want you to try and breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in through the nose, which means your tongue's going to be going up and down, right? So, because you could breathe out through your mouth. So, in through your nose, with your tongue on the roof of your mouth, and out through your mouth. And so for me, I always like to start with what I call conscious breath. It's when we're really breathing in as deeply as we possibly can, and we can feel that breath come in through the nose and go down the back of the throat and through the heart and the lungs and down to the belly. So we're really breathing through the whole body, and we expand our belly. And then we exhale, we use the belly muscles, we push that air out, and we press, and we feel that air just leaving our body, coming up through the heart and the torso, and coming out through the throat and out through the nose, so that we're empty, empty, empty. And we're going to do that 3 times, okay? And then we're going to breathe normally, just however it's comfortable for you. And if the conscious breath is too slow or too fast, just take it at your own speed. It's no problem, okay? But I really want to clear and clean your body, because when we get stressed out, we breathe up here, and in our lungs, all of the cilia that clean the air and clean the blood and clean all the toxins out of our system are at the bottom of our lungs down here. And so we want to breathe deeply so we get that air down into the lungs where that air can be cleaned and cleansed, so that we're exhaling toxins and we're much more productive with our breath. So we do those conscious breathing exercises when we start, because especially if you're stressed out and you want to calm your mind, 3 conscious breaths, that will really do the trick and put you in a great space. So if there's no more questions, we're going to get started with our meditation now. So I invite you, like I said, put your feet on the floor, get comfortable. And we're going to put your tongue on the roof of the mouth. I'm going to get me comfortable. And we're going to breathe in, and I'm going to start our music. Let's see. Oops, hang on. Still going through my Bluetooth headphones. Hang on. Sorry. Stop. Turn off the Bluetooth. Okay. I love this piece of music. Okay, so tongue on the roof of your mouth. Eyes closed if you feel safe to do so. And we inhale through the nose. Deep as you possibly can. Bring that breath in. And hold. Try not to let your shoulders go up to your ears. And exhale. Use your belly. Use your lungs. Push the breath out. Tongue on the roof of your mouth. Inhale in. And hold. And exhale. Push it out. Push it out. And really feel on your next inhale, feel that breath going in through the nose, past the throat, down the heart, the belly, down into, past the lungs, into the belly, filling the body with air. And exhaling, pushing the air out through the belly, the lungs, the heart, the throat, the mouth, the nose, pushing that out. And just continue to breathe in a way that's comfortable for you. Breathe normally, breathe in a way that's comfortable. And I just want you to focus on what I'm going to tell you. Now we breathe in and out. And today we're going to work on a releasing meditation. And so I'd like for you to start envisioning a beautiful, brilliant green light coming up from beneath your feet, coming up from Mother Earth. And this beautiful green light is going to come up the body, and it's going to anchor itself around your hips, not your waist, around your hips. And through this beautiful green light comes a beautiful ball of red light. It comes up from Mother Earth, and it places itself in your root chakra, your base chakra, which is where your sacral bone is, your coccyx bone is, at the bottom of your tush. And this beautiful ball of light is spinning in a counterclockwise direction. And it is taking up any concerns of money or home safety, any concerns of bills, any concerns of home security, occupation, anything that's weighing on you in your root chakra is being pulled into this red ball of light. And now I would like you to envision this green light coming up your waist like water rising, and it's coming now to your belly button. And with it comes a beautiful ball of orange light. Orange light that comes up and goes above the red light, and it places itself in your sacral chakra, right in the middle of your hip bones, just a little above. And it too is spinning in a counterclockwise direction, and it is taking away any concerns of health or wellness or relationships, any problems with our blood pressure, diabetes, any concerns about our health and wellness are being lifted away by this ball of orange light. And the ball of light is just absorbing them out of the body. And the green light comes up higher to just below the breastbone. And with it comes a beautiful ball of yellow light that comes up from Mother Earth, past the red ball of light and the orange ball of light, and it settles itself into our solar plexus chakra, right at the base of our rib cage. And it too is spinning in a counterclockwise direction. And it is going to take away any concerns or stresses we may have about relationships, about interpersonal relationships, about self-identification, how we see ourselves. All of those things are going to be absorbed by the beautiful yellow ball of light. And our green light that surrounds us like a wave in a pool rises up even higher and comes up to the chest area, comes up above where our heart is, and it brings with it a beautiful green ball of light. Beautiful emerald green that comes up from Mother Earth, passes over the red ball in our root chakra, over the orange ball in our sacral chakra, over the yellow ball in our solar plexus, and it comes to rest right in the center of the chest, in the heart chakra. Not one side or the other, right in the center of the chest in the heart chakra. And we find healing in its counterclockwise motion. We can heal our heart. We can release sadness and heartache and depression and hopelessness. And we can release fear as that beautiful green ball of light spins in a counterclockwise direction in our chest. And the beautiful green water comes up even further now to the base of the chin, and up from Mother Earth with it comes a beautiful blue light, pale blue like the sky on a sunny day. And he comes up past the red and the green and the yellow and settles into the throat chakra in the center of our throat. And it clears away in its counterclockwise spin. It clears away any words we've left unsaid, any regrets, any places where we held our tongue for fear of speaking out, any sadness around not telling people who are important that they're important, when we hold back from expressing words of love and caring. And we release guilt, and we release silence. And as this beautiful green, emerald green light that surrounds us moves up, comes to our forehead, and with it from below, from Mother Earth, comes up a beautiful indigo blue light, ball of light comes up past the red and the orange and the yellow and the green and the blue, and it lands in the ajna, the center of the forehead, just above your eyes, the third eye. We have indigo, this beautiful blue spinning counterclockwise ball that releases from us any of our guilt or shame or frustration from times when we have not listened to our inner voice, the times when we have refused to see the signs in front of us, the places where we have not trusted our own intuition. And we remember to keep breathing as the blue third eye circle of light spins in its counterclockwise direction. We're almost there. And the beautiful green light of Mother Earth comes up and completely surrounds us and is extended about 6 inches above our head. 6 inches above our head. And with it comes up from the earth below our feet a beautiful purple violet ball of light, comes up past the root chakra, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and comes to rest on top of our head in the crown chakra. And it too is spinning in a counterclockwise direction, and it is releasing any of our stress, any of our false wisdom, any beliefs that we no longer need, that don't serve us, any blockages that keep us from connecting to our highest and best voices. And as all of your chakra balls of light are spinning in that counterclockwise direction, I'm going to leave you for just a few minutes to enjoy the silence, to enjoy your thoughts, to enjoy any wisdom, guidance that may come to you from above, to listen to your highest self. And now I'd like you to envision all of your beautiful balls of light spinning forwards in a clockwise direction, moving forward, taking with it anything that's been released, anything that no longer serves you, anything you gave it that does not belong to you or need to stay with you any further. And we release our crown chakra, beautiful ball of light, as it runs down the body and returns to Mother Earth. And the third eye, indigo chakra, rolls down the body and returns to Mother Earth. And the throat chakra, blue, rolls down the body, taking with it anything that no longer serves us, anything we no longer need. And our heart chakra, beautiful green ball of light that is now spinning clockwise, rolls down the body back to Mother Earth, taking with it anything that no longer serves. And our yellow solar plexus chakra rolls down the body, returns to Mother Earth. And our orange sacral chakra rolls down the body and returns to Mother Earth. The orange and the red base chakra rolls down the body and returns to Mother Earth. And the green light that surrounds us also retreats ever so slowly back to the earth, taking with all things that no longer serve us. And before we come back to the room that we're sitting in, we take just one more minute to call back any bits of our energy that have wandered off into the universe. I call back all of my energy, any pieces of my energy, fragments of myself. I call back to me at this time. I call them back. I call back my energy. And just to complete the process, we bring down a beautiful ray of white sparkly light from above that completely surrounds our body and anchors us back to the earth. And we take one more big, beautiful breath in through the nose. And we exhale. And as you begin to bring your attention back to the room that you're sitting in, I invite you to wiggle your toes, move your shoulders, swiggle around a little bit in your chair. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And I want to say thank you so much for spending a few minutes to meditate with me today. I hope that that was helpful. I hope you feel more relaxed and calmer, perhaps clearer, knowing that any of the thoughts from day-to-day life that came into your head are waiting for you to be picked up as you stand up gently and go back about your evening, or in Katya's case, go to sleep. Thank you, Robin. Thank you. I hope it was enjoyable. I hope it was so helpful. And I'm so grateful to spend this time with you all. It was so healing and fulfilling for me to have the opportunity to share with you, and I am truly grateful. Thank you for choosing to spend a little bit of time with me. And if there's any other questions before we go, or comments, otherwise I will hit the stop button and be ever so grateful that our video worked smoothly tonight. I wish you all a beautiful rest of your evening and rest of your week. And I look forward to being with you again next week. Blessed be.